Outlet Liquor is your place to buy a case. Stock up and save when you shop the lowest prices available every day at Outlet Liquor. You never have to wait for a sale. The more you buy, the more you save. Only at Outlet Liquor.
What's your outlet?
Folks, welcome to a brand new episode of Degenerate Danger Zone. It's Saturday, December 11th. It's time to get that free money. Your show sponsor, Outlet Liquor, New York's only Outlet Liquor. When you need to stock up, it's the place to buy a case. Tai B, Slick Al. Oh, and it's a fucking slick Saturday. Let's go.
Absolutely is a slick Saturday. A big UFC fight here tonight, UFC 269. Slick L and I will be watching it here live on the Trainwreck Sports live platforms, YouTube, Twitter, all that fun, so you guys can watch along with us. And Slick, we will have a special guest as well, right?
Yeah, that's correct. At Boston Comments on Instagram, our girl, the Bunny. And no, I'm not talking about the AEW star, but we're being joined by the Bunny. Huge MMA following on Instagram. Should be fun. Al might even pop in from his watch party himself. So it's going to be a good night and some good fights, hopefully.
Yeah, always for these, these big fights. I'm doing a watch party. The numbered fights, UFC 269. Could not be more excited. You know who I'm pulling for.
Yeah, I think we're all on the same page there. But it's a shitty circumstance, right? Oliveira is a good guy, and he has a similar path that he's come by in his career. He's worked his ass off for a good 10 years, being in UFC mixed martial arts, and he's finally got that lightweight strap. But that's exactly what Dustin's looking to do tonight. Unfortunately, one of these guys has to lose. But I think it's Dustin's time.
Absolutely, Slick. We'll get more into that a little later on. But Al, I know the big game here this afternoon, America's game that is Army Navy there. Obviously, tons of implications because of all the bragging rights and whatnot. But for me, it's sort of the atmosphere of it and watching the unders between these two option teams.
Oh, 3:00. Army, Navy. I think the line currently is Army -7 with a total of 35.5. You know what the play in this one is, guys? The under between Army and Navy has cashed in 15 consecutive seasons. I mean, it's insane. And since 2005, the under in games between Army, Navy, and Air Force, 40 wins, 9 losses, 1 push. That's clipping at an 80% rate, guys.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And we saw Bill Belichick wear the Navy mask the other day because it was Army Navy week. And what did he do? He only threw the ball 3 times, channeling his inner Navy. We saw Navy get a big win a few weeks ago where they didn't throw the ball at all. We could see a similar game today. There's that wind that's coming across the entire country. I'm sure they're going to be getting at least some of it because that storm stretches, I think, the entire coast pretty much. So, Donnie, I heard you chiming in that under. You on it? It's 35.5.
Yeah, it's the total. It's not a big total, so you're on the one hand, you got to go with the numbers though. Like Al said, it's cashed most of the time. We're hoping that there won't be, like a pick six or any kind of broken play like that. But I mean, these are two teams built on fundamentals and not taking chances. That's how they win. I'm taking the under. It's not a sexy pick, but it's just it's a pick. Even if somehow loses, I will never feel bad about it. It's just you got to take Army Navy unders. I will give out a pick too on the spread. I like Army 7. It's tough. I wish it were 6.5. I might even consider buying half a point, but I think Army they have thrown the ball when they've needed to and had some good plays on it. Especially what was the last game they played? I'm blanking very hard. But the last game they played, I was on them. I watched it, and they were as predictable as you'd think, triple option, running that all day. And then out of nowhere, they complete a 35-yard pass. So Well, like Navy, like you said, they've won, I think, 1 or 2 games where they've thrown the ball twice but completed no passes. So I'm gonna go with Army on this one. They've and in terms of covering the spread this year, they've been a great team to bet on to cover the spread. I think they've been cashing at like 80%, honestly.
I'm taking the points in the under. That's my play for today. Navy in the
All
7 with the points. Throw the records out.
Yeah, I agree with Al on that one. I think that's the way we've seen this kind of play out over the past few seasons. It's usually just a grinded out slugfest and low scoring. I don't think either team's really going to try to throw it, like I said. So that'll be a big one to monitor. But I'm going to get my pick started here with a collegiate basketball pick.
Let's go.
And there's no way this one loses. I'm going with Kentucky -4.5. Throw out, all these recruiting things. Throw out playing on the road at Notre Dame. Throw out anything. The only thing you need to know is what Dickie V tweeted this morning. He is so touched because of what Coach Cal did that tears were flowing per his tweet. He visited the grotto, Coach Cal did, and lit some prayer candles in Dickie V's honor. Shout out to Dickie V, baby. We need you around for a long time. Hope you beat this. And, we're praying for you as well. And we're praying for a big Kentucky Wildcats win there at Notre Dame.
All right, I'll keep it in college basketball too. You know what game I'm eyeing up. My Bama Roll Tide just cracked the top 10 once again this week. They're now number 9 in the country. They're at home, ESPN2, 10 o'clock tonight. Late start for East Coast, Bama type game here. But it's 14-ranked Houston coming into Bama. Alabama's -2.5 at home. I'm taking that. They're coming off a big win against the Zags. Knocking off Gonzaga was huge for Oates and that team. Even though it is a December win, they'll take it, especially after a week before losing to Iona as 12.5-point favorites. So I'm on Bama tonight, late night. That'll be a great game to have. You got 2 TVs, you're watching UFC on one, throw on Nate Oates and Bama on the other.
Yeah, that should be great. And I'm gonna stick with the basketball too. I know it's like Saturday. I'm just gonna dabble in the other water a little bit. I like the Golden State Warriors tonight, -3 against Philadelphia 76ers. Warriors are hot. And, Steph Curry, 10 threes away from that all-time record. We could see magic tonight. So give me Warriors -3 every time.
Love that play there. Slick. Donnie, I know you're a guy. You like to get all over the board. You love the hockey, but what are you targeting here? Where's the free money at?
I got the hockey jersey on because I do love the hockey, and if you follow me on anyone out there on that Action app, I posted a couple times. That is by far the best sport I'm at. I know I have Don and John's picks where we do NFL and football, but hockey is really where I like to make my money. I'm eyeing up, some people might not agree with this, but I like the Ducks on the road against the Penguins. The Ducks are I always try to find a team at the beginning of the season that just sucked last year, but has promise this year. In the NHL, that team's been the Ducks for me. In the NBA, that team's been the Cavs for me. I try to find a team with young guys, lots of talent, but just, didn't get it together quick. And, I was having a conversation with my brother who bets on hockey a lot. And I told him, I'm like, the Ducks are now where the Sabres should have been like 4 or 5 years ago. Correct. With, in Eichel's early days. I love them. I mean, we all saw that, they're nonstop playing that goal that they got against Buffalo, the Michigan 2.0, you might want to call it.
The Michigan assist.
Yeah, the Michigan assist. But they're plus money, plus 123. This team, I'm at the point where unless they're going up against like Vegas or the Hurricanes or the Wild or Edmonton, I'm taking them. Penguins, I like the matchup too. Penguins, they've been more of a defensive team, lock them down, try to keep scoring less. While the Ducks are kind of the opposite, an explosive scoring team. They're averaging, over almost like three and a half goals a game. I'm taking the plus money on that. I like the youngsters. And then I also like to mention the Hurricanes and Oilers, another road team. I like the Hurricanes coming into Edmonton. They're staying hot. Edmonton dropped their last one at home. Both teams haven't played since Thursday, so they're well rested. But, the Hurricanes, they don't get quite as much hype as a lot of teams in the NHL, like, the Avs or Vegas Golden Knights or, even the Islanders at the beginning of the team. But they have like a lot of depth, a lot of veteran talent. And they started the
Capital
season.
L in the Islanders.
Yeah. Oh, I wanted to pick them today. I liked it, but You know, there isn't much value, and you can't take an Islanders puck line because they only win by 1. It is rare that they'll win by 2.
Yep.
So, yeah. So my picks today: Ducks plus 123 on the road, and then
Love
Hurricanes as well, about even money on the road at plus 100, taking on the Oilers. I like both of those. And if you really are, want to be a little bit of a take a chance, because I love my Ducks puck lines that they've been paying big time. I think they could not just win by 1, but win by 2. And that reverse puck line is plus 310. Might be worth a sprinkle. I think I'm gonna sprinkle it. I love the Ducks today. So
Absolutely. Love that there. Al, you got anything else before we dive deep into this UFC card?
No, I know. Big time UFC card with Slick Al. Yes, I'll go 2 plays in the NHL that I'm eyeing up today. We got the Capitals Sabres. Sabres have just been playing like, you know what, lately. I mean, it caps minus 1.5 at plus money. And then the total's at 6. The Sabres were on an over train for a while. The past 2 have gone under, low scoring games. I'm you know me, I'm an under guy.
Good chance Dell tonight.
Yeah, I lean over for sure with the Capitals coming into town. Capitals score 4 or 5 at least, especially with the Sabres playing it back-to-back. And a home dog that I kind of like tonight, Flyers are on a back-to-back going to Phoenix against the Coyotes. The Coyotes are one of the worst teams in the NHL, but they have been pesky over the past couple weeks, keeping games close, getting a couple upsets here and there. And you can tell by this line, the Coyotes at home are only plus 128. So I love those are the 2, actually the 3 likes I have there. Caps minus 1.5, over 6 goals in the Sabres game, and then the Coyotes as home dogs. The Flyers lost 10 in a row going into Vegas last night. Vegas somehow loses at home. So like Arizona.
Absolutely. And if Dell's playing that over, you have to hit. The Sabres are giving up like 5 goals or more. Like it was like 9 out of like 15 games or something like that, 10 out of 15 games. So they've been doing it a lot on their own. So that's obviously something to monitor. But let's get into UFC 269 here, Slick. Obviously, Slick Saturday, baby. The picks are, the picks are in. I've seen the video. One you and I very high on here on, in some of the earlier fights is Miranda Maverick. Only minus 137 for some reason in this one. And we both think there's too much value on this one to let that one go. In this fight here, she's, 24. She's a young fighter, up and coming. Her most recent loss was to Macy Barber, who's supposed to be, the brightest star out of all these young women who are going to be coming up. Absolutely. And, she's fighting someone who's 22 years old, who's only fought in the UFC once. I think they're giving her a little bit too much respect here in that one. It's not like she's a big, knockout artist or even a big submission specialist. Like most of her wins have gone to decision, just as Miranda Mavericks has. But she's very tenacious, and you're going to get that right away from Miranda. Fear the Mavericks.
Yeah, I think the bookmakers are a little hesitant with this one. They don't know exactly where it's going to go. I feel like the only thing they know probably is that it's most likely going to go to a decision. Yeah. So I think definitely a little undervalued on Miranda Maverick. I love the value. I think minus 137. That's a steal. Another fight that I think is an absolute steal. It went from a pick 'em. You see the lines changing a bit today, but I'm looking at Tai Tuivasa minus 121 against Augusto Sakai. Hear me out. All due respect to Augusto Sakai, but and like last 2 losses, they're reasonable losses. First round knockout to Jairzinho Rosenstrike, and then a 5th round knockout to the Reem. But Tuivasa is the future of the heavyweight division. And I think this is definitely going to be a test for him. We saw him absolutely steamroll Greg Hardy with a left hook, like easily.
Yep.
And I think this is going to really test him, but I think he's the younger, fresher fighter, and he has all the confidence in the world, as we've seen. And I think we're going to be seeing another shoey on the cage tonight.
Yeah, he's the more athletic of the 2 as well, which I think really bodes well for him. Sakai definitely a little bit bigger there, but that'll be something to watch. But we see in the heavyweight division, once you're that big, it doesn't make that much of a difference. Al, any picks you're looking at here?
Yeah, I was looking at this card. There's a lot of close money lines that I was looking at. But I'm just going to go stick with the main event, and I'm rolling with Dustin. I have to. Dustin Poirier, he was around at minus 160. He's been bet down a little bit to
140.
down to minus 140 at the Creek now. But yeah, no, I'm still sticking with that. That's my pick of the night. And actually, one dog I want to touch, and I know Slickel's not going to like this, and Ty B, you probably won't like this either, is I did sprinkle and fade O'Malley today. Just not a big
I knew
bet,
you were going to say that.
not a big bet, but I'm not saying he's due for a loss. Because don't get me wrong, his fights have been fantastic that I've watched over the past, 6 to 12 months. But that's it. It's just a small sprinkle. It's not even, I'm not confident, but I'm just fading him because if tonight is his loss, I got money on the other side. That's it.
The people going to learn tonight that
Yeah,
the
I mean,
Sugar Show
Paiva's
is prime time.
Yeah, Paiva's an all right fighter. Like, he's a little bit better than guys are giving him credit for, but I still think O'Malley's he's going to be able to roll right through him.
Does he have the chin is the question.
I don't think it's going to matter.
When O'Malley hits,
He's going to get walked. He's going to get walked down. Like, he's just going to walk Paiva down, I think.
It's different.
An underdog I actually do like, though, Jordan Wright, the Beverly Hills Ninja.
I agree.
The guy that trains at Jackson Wink MMA. They train, Holly Holm, John Jones, some of the best in the entire world. He's a guy who can knock you out. He can choke you out. He can win on the ground, win on his feet. And Bruno Silva is a guy who's only fought once in the UFC, or twice in the UFC. He's on a 5-fight knockout streak, yeah, but only 2 in the UFC, like I said, against kind of some no-namers. Giving him a little bit too much credit, where I think Jordan Wright, a few years younger, but he's still 30. He's a veteran to a lot of this stuff. So I'd like Jordan Wright plus 275. Too much value, I think, to pass up on that one, Slick.
Definitely too much to ignore. I mean, we saw what he did to Jamie Pickett, his last fight around, in literally a minute. And he's a big middleweight, Jordan Wright. And I think he always gets he doesn't get the credit on the lines because he's kind of an unorthodox fighter. He swings.
And if you look at him, like, if you're just looking at the weigh-ins or like looking at that, you're just like a random white guy. Like,
exactly right. He looks like a geek, but this guy's a killer. And when he swings, he lets off those barrages of combinations. It gets bad. It says here he's got 7.13 significant strikes landed per minute. That's absurd. That loss coming to Joaquin Buckley. So that's a very credible loss.
Yeah,
those two guys
were
right. Those two guys in there.
Slugfest.
Yeah, it was like 2 Spartans going at it. I couldn't even believe it. I was watching, but I agree, Ty. That's too good to be true. That value there, and I think a potential fight of the night candidate that no one's talking about. Josh Emmett versus Dan 50K Ige. And Dan Ige getting a little slack on the line there at around plus 120. Josh Emmett hasn't fought in a year. What do you think of this one, Ty?
I was kind of leading the Ige on this one. I know ring rust has kind of been, disproven at different times, but I still think it's a factor for most guys, especially because they're usually coming off an injury when that happens. So there's a bit of sort of, testing it out, like, am I okay? Is everything, working well? And that's going to be a big factor in this one. I think Ige has proven, he can beat, most of the guys, but can he beat the top guys? Josh Emmett, has shown he has some top elite power. He could be that guy if he could stay healthy. So we'll see. That's a very, very interesting matchup. Same thing with the Garbrandt Kai Kara France fight. Like, I'm going to stay away from both those just because I could see both those going either way. And if it goes to a decision, fuck that. Like, I'm not going to get pissed off over the decisions, especially in that Garbrandt Kai Kara France fight.
It's
I think
be
that one
banger.
goes to a decision, and I do not want these judges with my money on the line.
What do you guys think about Pena? Does she have any chance?
No.
Juliana Pena at plus 600. Hell no.
Absolutely not.
I'm just curious. I mean, like I said, you guys are the experts in the UFC, so I didn't think
it's almost pointless to bet guys plus 500 or longer as in odds. It's like a 1-2% chance, something like that, and the amount you end up getting back is never worth it.
Yeah,
I think Amanda steamrolls her in less than half a round.
Really?
Do you see what you did to Megan Anderson?
Yeah. All right.
That's a big girl. That's a big girl.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. But I got one more play. I got a parlay. We're going to touch a bunch of sports. We're going Kentucky money line. Love that play. I already told you why. Capitals money line, probably because Aaron Dell's starting. PU, going Sean O'Malley because it's the Sugar Sean show, and the Portland Timbers to hoist the MLS Cup. Faden Dewey's NYCFC.
Love
I
it.
think Portland gets that one done. I'm just taking them to hoist the trophy. Think there's a good chance that goes to extra time just because of the way soccer's played out. And don't get yourself screwed on that three-way line. Bet them to win the trophy. It's a pick 'em, so like you're 50-50.
Love that.
Absolutely. Anything else before we get out of here, guys?
I'm just hoping to make some free money today, except for UFC 269, late night college basketball, Bama and Oats. Great hockey slate. Let's get another Army Navy under.
Absolutely. Such a great slate today. So make sure you guys get out there, get that free money. Slick Al getting ready, getting in the green room for his performance later here. We'll be live watching some of the main events of the UFC 269 card. So make sure you guys tune in for that and follow us over at Degenerate Zone for more content all the time on Twitter. Like and subscribe if you're over on YouTube. We'll be going live all the time. So make sure you guys tap that little bell too so that you know when we're going live. All right. Get to the creek. Get your bets in, text them in, call them in, do whatever you got to do. Go get that free money. Good night.